welcome to this episode of Wild Spirits News. My name is Sibylle, and today I'm going to talk to you about how you can never skip your self-care routine again. I had the idea for this when I got into a conversation with a colleague who said self-care includes stuff like removing toxic people from your life and training your mind to eliminate toxic thoughts, toxic thought processes. And I've seen this around quite a lot. People say exercise, nourishing your body is part of self-care. Eating healthy is part of self-care. Now, don't get me wrong. I am all for eating nourishing, healthy foods that give you lots of energy and make you feel fantastic. I am all for exercising and strengthening your body and, again, giving yourself the energy you need to pursue your passion and to do what lights you up. All of this is indeed caring for the self, caring for the body, caring for your mind, caring for your spirit, and so on and so forth. However, I would argue against summarizing everything under this label of self-care, because first of all, it waters down the expression a little bit. And secondly, there is a danger, a very real danger, of making self-care just another chore, just another thing you need to get done, another thing you need to check off your to-do list. And that, in my opinion, is counter to the idea of what self-care is supposed to be. You see, self-care for me is the time where you recharge, where you step away from the shoulds and musts and ought tos in your life. It's the opposite of another thing to check off your to-do list. So I would argue in favor of keeping self-care fun or making it fun, and I have two suggestions on how to do that. Now, the first of my suggestions is to shake up your self-care routine a little bit by doing something that feels slightly naughty. Now, here's the reasoning behind this. Think back to when you were a child and the thrill it gave you when you did something that you weren't quite supposed to be doing. I'm not talking about really dangerous things. I'm talking about these harmless things like stealing another cookie that you're not supposed to be having, or reading in bed. That was a biggie with me, by the way. I was always a great reader and my bedtimes were rather conservative, so I wasn't really tired when I was supposed to be sleeping, and I always had a little torchlight and read under the covers of my bed, read my book and with the torchlight for at least half an hour every night, or sometimes longer. Try and insert something like that into your self-care routine. Now, I'm not saying doing unhealthy stuff and eating chocolate. No, I'm saying stealing time away from when there's actually housework that you should be doing. Sit on the couch, get comfortable with a blanket and a book, and indulge yourself with a mug of tea and a blanket, and just feel like you're doing something, like you're skipping school to do something for yourself. Now, this might sound a little immature to you and a little silly, but I'm asking you one thing. Would you rather be really sensible and serious and boring, or would you like to be a little silly and have lots of fun? It's up to you. Which do you want? So I'd always go for the silly naughtiness. So just go for it and do something. Make it feel a little almost like you shouldn't be doing it. That'll keep the spark there, and it'll keep self-care from becoming something that you should do, and make it something that you're really looking forward to and that you really enjoy. Now, the second strategy that I recommend is something that I learned from my own coach. And she told me to approach my self-care the way I would approach caring for a different person. Now, she said, imagine your best friend has been ill and is recovering and needs to spend time at home, or needs some rest, or needs some special care. Or maybe a good friend has gone through a breakup and had their heart broken, and one of these situations in life when you really need somebody to hold your hand and tell you that everything's going to be okay, and do a few small but lovely, kind things for them that will make all the difference, and that'll make them feel better. And then you do all these things for yourself instead. Imagine that you are somebody who's really worthy of care, somebody you really love, and someone you want to do someone you want to feel good, someone you want to do a kindness to, and someone you want to make feel like $1 million. And you know what? You are. You are someone you love. You are someone who deserves to feel like $1 million, who deserves being looked after, and who deserves kindness and care and love. And so pretend you care for someone else. You know, do something like have a lovely dinner with yourself, with a wonderfully set table with decorations and candles and flowers and everything, and a lovely set table and a beautifully cooked meal. Or like I said, whatever actually makes you tick, whatever floats your boat. It could be a foam bath in the candlelight, or a walk in nature, or a heart-to-heart with your best friend. What I'm saying is, don't make self-care a chore. Don't make it something to check off your to-do list because you're being good, you're doing self-care. Throw all of this out of the window. Keep it fun, because then you make sure that you'll never skip it again. Because if it feels a little naughty, and if it feels like you're caring for someone else, you're pretending to care for someone else, and that someone is actually you, that kind of keeps the spark. It keeps it shaken up a little bit. You might think of new things to do, a new treat, maybe a massage or something that involves even a little bit of investment, and that keeps you going. And it, just in case you needed a reminder, self-care is not self-indulgence. It's not selfish. It's not a fad or something. It is something that we really need to pursue in our day and age, which is all about being there for everyone else and showing up for like everything, from our jobs to our chores, to social obligations, to our loved ones, our partners and children and families and friends. We are there for everyone, to the point where it's really hard for a lot of people these days to sit down and just be quiet and just not do anything. We start feeling really weird and really bad if we sit on the couch with nothing to do. And life never was meant to have such a fast pace. Life was meant to have quiet periods as well as busy periods, and that's what it has been for millennia for human beings. It's just lately, in the last couple of, I'd say, decades, or maybe last 100 years or so, that life has really started to pick up pace constantly, relentlessly, to the point where we are always stressed and like I said, we feel weird if we're not rushing around for once. So slow down, insert the self-care, and don't make the self-care another thing to do. Make it something you really enjoy, and if doing nothing whatsoever is what you really enjoy, then do that. That'll keep it fun, and that'll keep you from skipping your self-care whenever you have it scheduled. If you would like a written abstract of what was said in this video, as well as lots of background and insider information, recommendations of books and other resources, and regular exclusive offers exclusive to subscribers, go to wildspiritscoaching.com and fill in the little form, which will get you a weekly email with coaching magic directly to your inbox. Your data is completely safe with me, so go to wildspiritscoaching.com and subscribe. You can also Google Wild Spirits Coaching, which will also get you to my website. Thanks for watching.